I was there before, like you, finishing my academic studies. And, the goal is to, what is success when you're starting a climate tech startup? Success is developing a company that is capable of cutting million tons of CO2 per year. So, that's the definition of success. And so there's a lot of things that can happen along the way. Again, these are my opinions. So I think the first trap that we can fall into, when you come out from school, is that you think you know a lot of things because you went to a top school. And so I'm saying that laughing because it's actually a good thing sometimes to be very confident when you don't know a lot your industry, because sometimes you probably wouldn't take the risk of starting a company if you knew how hard it is later and how little you actually knew back then about everything that was waiting for you. So I would say that is kind of the first trap that can happen. And so my advice for this would be to always keep an underdog mindset. And by this I mean don't assume that academic knowledge is real life knowledge, although it's very powerful, very important to have it. There's so many other dimensions in the rest of the world to optimize for and that are needed to develop, to have a successful career and to do something meaningful, that I think it's really important to keep this growth mindset and keep asking for advice all the time early on. A second thing I have perhaps for people joining companies early on, especially in startups, is don't care too much about the title. There's always a lot of inflation around titles, but actually what really matters, I believe, is the team you work with and the mission and how much you believe the team you're working with is capable of delivering on that mission. So I think that's really important. And the third thing I would say that is also probably quite controversial about salary, especially if there are MBA in the room. I've heard they were trained to negotiate their salaries, is to not to negotiate too much salaries at the beginning, but instead get in the company, over-deliver, and then negotiate. Because we, as a founder, I see that a lot of people in the company, when they're in and they're delivering, they're so good at what they do, you really don't want to lose them, and then they have much more leverage to actually really ask for something. And if you negotiate too early, I would say that it's a missed opportunity for some startup where they perhaps don't have a lot of resources at the beginning, so they want to make sure they don't take too much risks in terms of hiring. And so I think that's an interesting way to look about it.